are listening to All Skins Everything with the urban sports scene on Fox Sports Radio, 1340 AM and 96.9 FM, Hopewell, Virginia. Here are your hosts, Wally, Ray, and Will.
All Skins Everything with the urban sports scene is now on your airways, Fox Sports Radio, 1340 AM and 96.9 FM, Hopewell, Virginia. Ray, Wally, Will T is out, which is a common occurrence here on All Skins Everything. Even my boy Lex Diamond is out. Shout out to him, man. He just had a death in his family, man. We hope you're doing well, Lex. Look forward to you coming back on the show.
Most definitely.
But in the words of Will T, let's get in our tradition, the pregame.
Here's the first topic. Well, actually, the main thing is a big show. We're going to have cornerback Bashaud Breeland on the show. The NFL draft starts Thursday at the 10-minute mark. We'll break down who the Redskins should draft. Finally, at the 20-minute mark, we'll feature our listener segment. That's Real Talk with the urban sports scene. But first, we have free agent cornerback Bashaud Breeland on the show. He was with the Skins from 2014 to 2017. What's good, Bree?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Man, thanks for being on. I saw that you used to play basketball back in high school. Are you paying attention to the NBA playoffs?
No, not currently. I'm currently resting and trying to recover from my injury, trying to get back on the field.
Okay, so how's your foot doing right now, man?
It's doing pretty good. It's on the up and up. Each week I'm progressing, and as you know, I'm a fast healer, so it's coming along pretty good.
That was up. So and what happened with your foot?
It was a freak accident. It was an injury that I had growing up, kind of re-injured.
Okay.
Got hit by a golf cart, and it just turned for the worse at one point. Everything's on the up and up now, and it's almost back to full strength.
All right. Speaking of your free agency, so how many teams have been in contact with you? I don't want to put your business on blast. That's not my thing. I want to know how many teams just contacted you.
At this current point, it's been 8 teams checking in to see where my current health is. I wanted to do more talking after the draft, stay in the loop, and that nature.
Okay, so out of the 8 teams, is Washington one of them?
They reached out recently to see my current status and say they want to stay in the loop.
Okay. Because I'm asking, we got the chance to cover you guys a few games last season in the locker room. It seemed like the defensive unit was a pretty tight-knit group in comparison to the offense, at least from our observation. So how true is that? And would you like to come back to join what they called the flight marshals last year?
I'm always wanted to be a Washington Redskin for my career. So having it didn't turn out that way during the start of free agency. They didn't come to the table in that time. And flight marshals, you know what I'm saying? We were not in pass defense last year. Me and DJ Sweat and Quentin Dunbar, we became bros off the field. And I would love to play with those guys, but it didn't turn out that way. But right now I'm just focused on getting healthy and finding out who won't bring him to come be the player and the person that he is.
Yo, real quick, too, I want to make sure we keep the focus on you. Again, thanks for joining us. But I could also tell how close you all were when Kendall Fuller got traded, the reaction that came from your guys. What was your reaction at the time?
It hurt to see where he progressed from year 1 to year 2. It was shocking to all of us. None of us thought that would happen. Not Kendall Fuller. And it's a business. Sometimes you gotta roll with how the cards fall.
You are listening to All Skins Everything with the urban sports scene. We have cornerback Bashaud Breeland on the line. So, Bree, I've said this to you before. Like, I don't get it because I feel, to me, since you've been here, you've been one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. But why is it in this area? I won't say in this area. It seems like you get a lot of hate.
I don't really feel like it's the city, the fans of D.C. or Washington, D.C.
Okay.
It's the national people. They don't like when players beat themselves and pick up for themselves. So that's really the love, where the love-hate relationship comes in at. But as far as Washington and their fans, I really don't feel like they hate Breeland.
Okay.
I feel love coming from Washington fans.
Now, I want to say, my man, like, you look at what your progression and whatnot. If you look at if you mark up what you've done compared to other cornerbacks. You're one of the better cornerbacks, especially that season when the Skins got to the postseason. That year, arguably, you were top 10 cornerback that season.
Can you repeat that?
Like I was saying, like the year 2015, the year that y'all went to the postseason. Like arguably that year, you were a top 10 cornerback. So I never got like the whole hate or of anybody saying, well, all right, Bree, the Redskins can do better than Bree. I think people don't realize what they have when they have it, because I don't know how much you know about the prior players in this Washington Redskins organization. You compare more like to like a Carlos Rogers. It's like the same way when Carlos Rogers was here. It's like top cornerbacks, but for some strange reason in this media market, like you said, you don't get the love like you're supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that throughout the history of Washington, players that came in and came out, it's like they hate you when you're there, they love you when you go. But it is all about the passion of winning.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to take the ball at some point. And throughout my down stretches, I was that one that had to take the ball.
Bree, you may not want to delve too far into this, considering that you could possibly return to Washington. However, just going off the last question, it wasn't necessarily the fans or the pundits that I thought was critical of you, but I didn't know if your head coach necessarily 100% backed you last season. You want to allude to how you felt about, your treatment by Coach Gruden from training camp and throughout the course of the year?
Can you repeat that?
Coach Gruden, your relationship with Coach Gruden, how was that? Do you feel like he was supportive? From my vantage point, I didn't think so.
I feel like me and Coach Breeland had a good relationship. It's like a father-son relationship. Sometimes it's kind of knucklehead where you have to show tough love. And I feel like I'm one of those guys. Like you really can't be nice for me to really get it sometimes. And I never really felt like me and Coach Gruden had any animosity towards each other or any bad vibes with each other. I mean, that was just something that was rolled up by the media. The media presented that way, and it kind of carried over with the fans.
No, I agree. I totally agree with that. So, all right, let's be a little light with this, man. You a rapper. You in a rap game. So, before I get into like what you doing, who is your favorite your current rapper?
Future.
Future? See, man, you don't like Big Crit?
I mean, I never really got into Big Crit.
Oh, man, you kidding me, man?
Not saying that he's not one of the influential rappers here today, but at my time, and who got my ear, Future has my ear at this point in time.
Oh, man, so he probably would want you to go hard at Russell Wilson. We're gonna be careful with that one.
So tell folks about what you tell folks about what you do in the rap game.
I just do music. I don't consider myself as a rapper or an artist. I just look at the other creative sides outside of football. Make music here and there with my friends, and they do their thing. They really in the rap game, so I'm just supportive of them, and that's my way of hanging and coping with them.
I feel you. Hey, Bree, man, we appreciate you for being on the show, man. Before we let you go, anything you want to say to the people?
Not really. I'm just know that I'm going to be back, and I'm ready to get back on the field. And to all my Washington fans, it's all love, and I miss playing for them in the burgundy and gold, but at this point in time, it's like it was my time to venture off and to a different scenery and different things in my life. So there's nothing, no hate towards them. It's all love, and hopefully I get to see them on the opposite end.
Hey, I'm sure the fans they want to see you back on in a Redskin uniform, man, because you a baller, man.
It's all love.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
All right. Again, man, that is cornerback Bashaud Breeland. He joined the Urban Sports team. That's pretty cool, man.
Absolutely. I think he answered everything candidly, which was great. A lot of times you don't have professional athletes do that. And he pointed out how his relationship with Jay Gruden was a father-son type relationship where he needed tough love. He needed that tough coach. And we don't perceive Jay Gruden as a tough guy.
No,
so it was pretty cool to hear that. Now, it's funny that he took it that way versus
how the media took
the backup quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens took it when he was here. And that's why
Rob Griffin III.
I wasn't gonna say his name. See, you put him out there, but it's amazing how different players respond differently to various types of discipline and coaching, and it shows that maybe Jay Gruden does have a backbone, even though we don't get it. We don't get that from him when we see him at press conferences.
No, I told you I've always liked Jay Gruden. I've always liked the way he does things.
I like Jay Gruden too. Actually, I'm just saying that I like Jay Gruden personally. I think he's an excellent offensive mind. Yeah. I felt like after what happened last season with the games they let go, such as New Orleans game and others, they probably needed to clean house, but it wasn't anything personal against him. But I'm glad that Bree pointed out that he had a good relationship with him. And
actually, I'm glad that he has like love for the fan base, because I see it on Twitter, man. It amazes me how people really like he's like the guy that people go at and say, you know what? Oh, we can do better than Bree. You know what I mean? Like if you look at and I didn't want to call it out for what it is. If you look at last season. Other than you could say Kendall Fuller, other than Kendall Fuller, Bree was probably the best quarterback on the team.
Probably so. And one thing that, at least from my observation and what I believe I watch on television and in person, is that Bree often covers the best receiver on the other team.
A lot.
So it's easy to say, oh, he got roasted, but he's covering the best guy on the
team. And then people also forget that, all cornerbacks get got every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like Deion got.
Here it is. Here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
When you got a guy who's a media darling such as Josh Norman, he had a down year, but the average fan won't tell you he did.
No, exactly. Agreed.
But those of us who know football know.
No, it was a down year.
Kendall Fuller was the best corner on the team last year, and then Bree was probably second.
Exactly. And it's not a knock on. We're talking about last season. It's not a knock on Norman. We're talking about 1 year, right?
Yeah, I mean, but even if you look at the rivalry games, who was covering Dez Bryant most of the game? Bree. Who was covering Odell Beckham?
Bree.
That's what I'm saying.
For most of it.
I'm just reiterating that.
You know what I mean? And for a lot, for most of his tenure here, he held his own. He held his own for most of his tenure here.
He had some bright moments. He had some down moments. Exactly. There was some games where he was left out in Allen, but at times, again, we go back to scheme, we go back to coaching. That was where the issue really lied. And he pointed out how the flight marshals improved as an overall.
So y'all try to get on the flight marshal now.
I laugh at that crap for real. But we had him on the show. Come on, man. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway,
so you anyway like me now.
I think the defensive backs as part of the entire defensive unit improved as a group last year, and we said that the offense let them down when they needed them most. It seemed like, which was crazy because the offense had put up such big numbers.
Yeah, I mean, again,
season before last. I mean, the season.
Yeah, you're right. The season before last.
Not last season. Season before last.
Yeah. So I mean, regardless, I mean, he said it like their secondary was good last year compared to what we've seen in the past. They ranked 9th in terms of passer yardage. Does that again? And if you listen to the national media, local media, you would think that they had the worst passing defense in the NFL. But again, that was with Breeland and Kendall Fuller. They're not going to have those. Looks like they're not going to have those two for the upcoming season.
Looks like it.
But
we know Kendall Fuller's gone already. Bree, if you got 8 teams coming after you, Washington check to see how you're doing. It looks like he's going to go somewhere else.
But that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't think that. I wasn't even sure they checked up on him. I thought they weren't even in communications with him. I'm glad. That's at least there's some positive out there that Bree is and the Redskins have talked.
Possibility. They have talked. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know he's met with Green Bay.
Should have mentioned it. Should have asked him.
No, I didn't want to put nobody's business out there. Try not to.
Well,
you try to keep.
I don't know if he's going to lose leverage if he says anything, but he has people advising him, and overall, good interview. I felt like he was very, very upfront.
I know. I thought so too. I like that he kept it 100. But here's the question, man: who should the Skins draft? They got a 13 pick overall. Should they trade back? Trade up? We'll discuss that after the break. And listen to Urban Sports, same for ages. You dig? Deuces. The NFL draft starts Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Washington Redskins are picked 13th. Who should the Washington Redskins draft?
Well, all along I've been saying Minkah Fitzpatrick,
Who is a very popular individual.
free safety,
Mm-hmm.
going to turn corner when he gets in the NFL, at least from my vantage point. But now it's looking like Vita Vea to me. I think he's coming to Washington, just based on all that I've read, all that I've seen. You got to go defense with that first pick. We know that much. Now, there's another name that is mentioned right around that area, around the 11th to 13th pick, because if you look at a lot of mock drafts have the Dolphins either getting Fitzpatrick or Vita Vea.
Oh,
Right.
really? Okay, they lost two.
Then you got
That
Tremaine
makes sense.
Edmonds out of Virginia Tech, who's also being picked like right around it, and he's
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah, he is. Oh, no, and he's young.
So it's going to be either Vita Vea.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying it right? Vita Vea?
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea. There we go. My bad. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Or Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think, going to the Washington Redskins for another 8-8 year, according to the prognosticators on ESPN.com. November 4th, they play the Atlanta Falcons. Just saying.
So,
Right here in Washington.
This
I'll
dude
be
here.
there. If you want to meet me, come on out.
I am leaning towards Vita Vea myself. I think that's a perfect fit for what the Redskins need to do. But I will say this: if Roquan Smith falls down to 13, I'm taking Roquan Smith, and I'll take my chance to drafting a nose tackle in the second round if I could, because Roquan Smith, if the kid out of Georgia, or even like you mentioned, Ray, Tremaine Edmonds, if he slips down, I'm taking Tremaine Edmonds and seeing he can play inside linebacker.
You want a linebacker so bad. It's amazing.
I want an inside linebacker with sideline speed who can do some damage.
I'm in the barbershop, and everybody just kept saying, Zach Brown.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all y'all got, though. You know,
It's one person.
You guys need more than
Yeah, exactly. I agree. No, I mean, you're right. You can't just say Zach Brown. Zach Brown needs another dude beside him because they play the 3-4. They don't play the 4-3. He needs another dude beside him who can help out, who could help clean some things out, because Zach, and also Zach Brown isn't the best against the pass. At least Roquan Smith is versatile enough to be better against the pass. He was like that.
That speed, that's what you need, man.
And he grades well if you look at him in college against the pass compared to a Mason Foster who plays on the team.
So if Roquan Smith is there and Vita Vea is there,
I'm taking Roquan.
Okay.
I'm taking Roquan. Roquan is the better player. Roquan was what's the award for the best linebacker in college? Roquan got that award. Roquan Smith is if you look at what he did in the combine, matching that with his production in college, that was Roquan Smith. So I think he's the guy you take if he slips down. If he doesn't slip down, Vita Vea is the guy the Redskins should take. I know people like Deron Payne out of Alabama, but I think that's a guy that you can either
tackle.
Yeah, tackle. You can get later on if you want to trade back. You can get him later on, or he may slip to the second. You never know.
Well, Tremaine Edmonds is also he's listed at the same position.
Yeah, I'll take him too. I'll take Tremaine Edmonds
At 13.
Yeah, over Vita.
He's not going to be there though.
I don't think so.
Roquan is going to be
because Tremaine. I think so. I think
we just talked about him, but I'm just saying.
The reason why I'm agreeing with you is because I think Tremaine Edmonds is young. He's not even 20 yet. So that you get that year, you get that.
Gonna be inside linebacker, and then
they say that he may play outside linebacker.
That's the only reason I say he's listed at the same position.
He's both, but a lot of people are leaning towards putting him on the outside linebacker.
The dude from Boise State is outside linebacker, right?
Oh, I know you're talking about. He's inside.
I thought he was outside.
I believe he's out. I believe he's inside.
And then you got another.
He can play both. I think
that's inside, and that's Rashawn Evans.
For Alabama? Yeah, he's inside.
Yeah, he's late first round.
But he'll be. Again, if you want to
not at 13.
No, I'm not taking him at 13. Okay. I'm not taking him at 13. No, I'm taking Vita Vea at 13. I'm going back.
I think you know what, I gotta agree with you. I think linebacker is the bigger need.
Compared to if it's those two dudes, you think I'm like if it's Edmonds or Roquan, because they're gonna be better. They're gonna be more. There'll be playmakers at that position that you need. You know what I mean? You need a guy. You need a guy like that if you want to have a top tier defense.
Here's the thing.
You saw it in Jacksonville. Their linebackers are fast and ready to create havoc.
True, but one could argue if you still don't have a pass rush, your linebackers are going to be left out on the island to cover for too long.
That's true.
If a quarterback
yeah,
has
but that's
has
why.
too much time.
But then you get a healthy Jonathan Allen. You have Ionitis. You're hoping that Phil Taylor can at least play enough games. I'm not saying he's gonna be the end all be all, but in the rotation, you draft a young kid in the second round, you could be okay. You could be okay, but at least you got that playmaking inside linebacker. That guy that, like for instance, a Ray Lewis, a Brian Urlacher, I'm sorry, Patrick Willis, Bowman, guys that we saw in the past that at that position, when you saw them in that position, you knew they clean crap up. The Redskins, other than Zach Brown, don't have that individual.
My main thing is I want a guy that's going to be fiery. Somebody who is going to be a leader, right? Right now, I guess Josh Norman is considered your defensive leader.
Yeah.
Brian Kerrigan is arguably your best player on defense. Mm-hmm. Your best playmaker. Maybe I should say that. Is that an overstatement? Maybe.
Brian Kerrigan,
is he your best playmaker on defense?
Yes.
Okay. So
yes,
you want a guy who's going to mesh and he's going to fit the combination of those two personalities.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It reminds me when Ed Reed was drafted. I felt like he was the perfect complement to Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs because he balled and he always had that emotion, and you knew that they were going to gel, and that's what you need on defense. And the defense had continuity last year, which is what I pointed out in our discussion with Bashaud Breeland.
Mm-hmm. No, I think you need that again. You need more ballers. You need more team speed. I mean, to be real with you, just need more team speed.
Yep.
That's what this team needs. You listen to Urban Sports City. I'm Wally here. My boy Ray. Will T's out. So, do you think this team should stay put or try to trade back, get more picks? Since this draft is so deep defensively.
You know what? I wouldn't have a problem with it. The only issue I would have is that they were to trade up and trade some picks. I feel like they have a nice amount of picks. Why don't you use them all, maximize them? If you trade back and acquire more picks, that's great. Mm-hmm. Because, again, you have a chance to not just build for next year, but build for the future and develop some depth on that bench, which with the rate in which players get injured in today's game, you're going to need depth and you're going to need some youth. So why not develop these guys? You're kind of rebuilding to some degree, considering that you traded your franchise. You let your franchise quarterback walk.
Franchise quarterback? Who's your quarterback?
I don't know if that's the term I was meaning to use. But
I know it was.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to necessarily get into a debate about that right now. But he was, 4,000-yard passer?
Yeah.
The past, 2 seasons? 3?
Yeah, he was.
So he was the face of your franchise.
Is Andy Dalton a franchise quarterback?
I'm not even going to answer that. Was he the face of the franchise? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. You like that? Was that the saying of the franchise? Yes, it was.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But it's time for That's Real Talk with the Urban Sports Scene. See you after the break.
I got royalty inside my DNA. Quarter piece got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, and born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got.
You are listening to All Skins Everything with the Urban Sports Scene on Fox Sports Radio 1340 AM and 96.9 FM, Hopewell, Virginia. Ray and myself, Wally, we're your hosts. Will T's out. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. Just search All Skins Everything. Make sure you rate us and leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. It's time for That's Real Talk with the Urban Sports Scene. Anytime you feel like ranting about the Skins or you have a question, call us and leave us a message. Here's the number. It's 301-799-5407. You can also tweet us at Urban Sports Scene or hit us up on the Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. We feature each comment on the show via a voice message or whatnot. The first comment via Facebook is from George Templeton on our Facebook page. George has... The question refers to who should the Redskins draft at 13 in the first round of the NFL draft, which is on Thursday. George says that I think I'd be happiest with Fitzpatrick, Ward, Villa, or Geis.
Sheesh. Similar to us, really. Mm-hmm. I'm just laughing because Fitzpatrick was a joke here on the show. aimed at me, of course.
He's grown.
I've been talking about Fitzpatrick from day one, and now more people talking about him. See what I'm saying, brother?
I wouldn't want Geis.
You should listen to Ray, sir.
You can get Geis. Geis to me isn't a special running back. He's a good running back.
You do not take a running back in the first round unless it's like
overall. Fournette.
And the thing is, we talked about Saquon Barkley going to the Browns. I think they still have like Trent Richardson nightmares for real.
I don't know why they're not taking Saquon Barkley. I think that's the dumbest thing. If they don't take Saquon Barkley, I think they're the dumbest organization in history.
I wouldn't say that.
They're dumb.
You can get a running back anytime.
Not like Saquon Barkley.
Proof of that.
Not like Saquon Barkley, bro. Like you not like Saquon Barkley. There's certain running backs you just don't pass up on. There's certain running backs. You're right. You can get a running back, but there are special running backs. Todd Gurley was a special running back. He was a first-round pick. Adrian Peterson was a special running back. Even though I don't like him, Ezekiel Elliott was a special running back. I mean, it's just it is what it is. Got to keep it 100.
Yeah, I agree with George though in terms of the fact that he had the overwhelming majority. It's only four. The overwhelming majority. three out of his four, 75%.
You know what I mean?
Defensive players.
I'm glad he said he wanted Villa
players.
though. You know what I'm saying? Villa. That's the one though.
Well,
and he said Roquan should be on this list though. George, Roquan should be on your list. I'm just saying. Roquan Smith should be on your list. He should be. Like, he's that special. He's that dude. Roquan is that dude.
Yeah, well, he didn't get a national championship, unfortunately. What happened to him?
He played his butt off.
To him at the end of that game, son?
And that wasn't him. It was the quarterback. It wasn't Roquan.
He made a star out of a dude from Hawaii.
The Hawaii dude was a star. He didn't make a star out of him. He was already a star. They played the wrong quarterback. That's what it is. They played the wrong guy was starting throughout the season.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That's a whole nother discussion.
It is.
All Alabama, everything. We're not going to do that today.
Anyway, man.
Jalen Hurts earned a job, and now he's fighting for it.
But it's not his job no more. He lost that situation.
Come on, one game.
It's done for him, man. It's done, bro. Like, this show is done.
All right, brother. Thanks, George, as always.
You know it, man. You've been listening to All Skins Everything for ages. You dig? Deuces. Hey, Mega, lead us out, big homie.
I got. When you see me, pledge allegiance to the swag, pledge allegiance to the swag, pledge allegiance to the swag, pledge allegiance to the swag.